Greetings, fellow journeymen and journeywomen. Today we are taking a closer look at Soundful. In a previous video I released, which was showing how to make AI music in an advanced method. I showed how to turn a Suno-generated song into a vocal stem, get rid of the music that it creates and just use the vocals, and then to basically upscale the vocals, change the voice into something better that could be used in a project. And then I finished it up. I didn't complete the project, but I did a starter with the Soundful project. But I didn't spend much time poking around in the Soundful site, which I think, I don't think there's very many reviews for Soundful. The people who are reviewing it are using it just to create simple songs to use in their YouTube videos. They're not getting into the stems, they're not getting into the MIDI and really expanding upon the concept, which is the only way I do it. And I think is the only way for a professional to approach it as well. But because it's just not, what it generates on its own is just not quite good enough. But let's go into each section here. I'll explore it, I'll show you a few sample generations, and we'll go from there. Here you have different genres: hip hop, EDM, lo-fi pop, ambient. And so I'll just show you one of the hip hop examples just to give you, actually I'll do two, since we'll do, and I'll show you the process for actually creating something like this. So here I'll select E minor, or I'll do them all in E minor just for fun. I'll go with the natural BPM because that's what it prefers. On its own, this is unusable. But imagine that you used, there's some other different AI models that are better for just like a straight up sample of a melodic piece. But imagine using one of those and then generating just like a Motown soul, like a 8-bar or 16-bar sample, and then slicing it up, getting rid of a lot of the melodies in here and just dropping that on top of it, turning it into a boom bap track. You'd want to replace the snare, give it a lot more power, I think, and the kick, but I think you can see how it can get you started on a project like that. Now let's do one more hip-hop example. Let's do a New York drill, see what it comes up with for us. Hear it. I actually like the melodic dubstep. In my opinion, it's not usable like right the way it generates it. You have to replace or at least layers some more synthesizers on top of the chord layers. It's just not thick enough, not rich enough, in my opinion. And usually I hate the intro. Pretty good snare sample. I think it's Then go back to here she goes. All right. We have now this one I did feature in the other video that I did. This is they're in one of their newest ones. It is really good. I'm gonna spend a little more time here in the EDM section because I think that most of the people watching this are going to be using it for these models here. So I want to show you something to look forward to because they are updating these models. They're dropping volume 2 models for them. This is the first one that's out in the EDM section. I'm going to go ahead and show you what the original driving techno sounded like. And I'll show you what the updated version 2 model sounds like. Oh, I've never heard it drop one of those vowel. Sounds like a bit crushed pluck with a low pass filter and resonance. It should give it that sound. I've never heard it make that sound. That's interesting. Every now and then it surprises me. Oh, this kick is a beast. And some of the risers you get from this are really cool. Instead of going to Splice and downloading risers and impacts off of there that other people are going to use, let's get some of these. They're totally original, I think. They seem to all sound a little different to me. And maybe I haven't listened to them enough. Maybe they just have a wide variety of samples that the AI is choosing from. Because this is obviously put together by a digital audio workstation. Otherwise, you wouldn't get the stems of the samples and it wouldn't sound so accurate compared to the original generation. All right, let's move on to Driving Techno 2. In my opinion, this model is much better than the Volume 1. Although sometimes you do get a dud. I like the tonality on that kick. The composition is actually needs to be taken that into consideration. Creating a lot of space for the kick. I don't hear a lot of hastening. I don't think this makes after you're into it. This one's not really impressive compared to the last one. I'll jump in and show you some of these samples that other people have with the same model. I've never done it, but you can download the stems from these free generated songs. Do other people have access to this? Because if I could snatch this exclusively, then I'd be into those. Anyways, back to EDM. One other one I want to show you is the funk one, which I actually think should be in hip hop, especially because, if you go in the lower BPMs, it's going to produce more of a trap funk. If you go into the higher BPMs, then you get the drift funk kind of sound, and that's more EDM, but it's still classified under hip hop. But anyways, um, I digress. So one thing is, I haven't really gone into some of the details about this aspect of it. Obviously, you can choose the key. You have access to these keys here. Um, but with the customization on the BPM, you typically don't have a wide range. Wow, this one actually does have a 60 BPM range. That's uncommon compared to most of them. It's not unusual for them to have like a 20 BPM or 30 BPM range or less, I think. Maybe 15 even with some of them. But I'll go more on this later. With this one, you have a wide range, but there's another way to get other genres with a wider range of BPM, and I'll show you that when we get further down this list on the left here. But let's go ahead and pick. Let's do a funk track. Let's just pick 140. Make it more of a drift funk kind of sound, hopefully. And I'll say right now while this is rendering, the funk songs it produces, they have some good ideas and really definitely staying true to the funk tropes. But the samples, the cowbell samples are terrible. I mean, it would pass for some lower level funk artists, but if you're gonna make premium funk music, you really gotta get some premium funk bell or cowbell samples, unless you make them yourself. To me, it's actually, there's good packs out there. It's a lot easier just to buy the sample pack than to make the samples yourself. Actually got some cool melodic ideas in it though. I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay. Now, lo-fi is actually, in my opinion, basically, it's what they've been doing the best since I discovered Soundful. And they have a bunch of volume 2s out, which are really, really good. So let's jump into this one. Let's just let it go and see what it does. I'm going to pick it to E minor. I'm on that theme today. Here we go. Sick. Oh my gosh. I need to spend more time on this shit. Y'all hearing this? That's good. All right. I'll do one in pop, and then I'll just look at ambient, R&B, and Latin. But I want to show you bedroom pop and synth pop. If you're a singer in sort of like the edgier indie kind of pop space, this will really help you out. It can. I mean, if you're struggling with producing quality backing tracks, or if you're not happy with the artists you're working with, or if you are doing good backing tracks, you know, this, you just can start with something like this and build from it. Take what you need, get rid of what you don't need, making it a totally original song with just a few stems from an AI generation. But here, let's go ahead and take a listen. Based on my experience, these are kind of hit or miss. I'm generally not a big fan of what it the bedroom pop producers. I have to generate a lot before you get one that I like typically, but I actually like this one a lot. Yeah. Yeah, let's take that one. I would definitely replace the synthesizers there, but good chords. So think they'll get Soundful will get stuck generating the same. I would definitely change that snare. It's a bit. Just see the muddy sounding. Just sounds. I think the reverb. They need a low cut on the reverb. That's what I would do. I didn't do it in the E minor like I meant to. That's okay. Pretty good. I think there's probably some better ones on here. It's honestly kind of, yeah. You could easily take something like this, or even you could take synth pop disco or modern disco, slow them down, change the synthesizers, and really turn it into a synthwave song really easy. I'm actually kind of surprised they don't have synthwave on here, but whatever. So ambient is really cool. Ooh, I don't even know they had a dark ambient one. So if you got a song, you got your bass going, you got your percussion going, you got your melodies going, but it just doesn't feel full enough. Try coming in here and creating one of these ambient tracks. I'm not sure exactly what dark ambient sounds like, but put it in the key, put it right around the BPMs, and you see this only has a 20 BPM spread. But get it as close as you can. You can shift it and change it later, but just to give you an example of you could just take something like this if it was in E minor, and I think you're gonna get. I haven't done an ambient render or generation before, but I think you're gonna get stems with it as well, which means you could just drop the stems. Some of the stems, if you want to use them, some if you don't. Like the lower ones here, the lower tones, you can either high pass that out of it, or just don't include that particular stem and rely on some of the more. Okay, let's go forward here. Yeah, here these all right. Yeah, especially if you got like a fucking badass, like old school dubstep tracks and bang-ass shit, it's just really minimal and industrial sounding. Some of these like background perks with the reverb and everything, really cool to have in there. There's not a lot of activity going on. Let's see if it typically could have more higher variants. Yeah. Sick. So there's some ideas with ambient. R&B, I haven't really spent much time, and I actually should. This would be interesting. R&B wavy. Okay, I gotta check this out. I've never seen this one. Yeah, I guess if you're a singer and you do R&B, this is also could be a really good place for you to stop by. Yeah. Oh, you get some pretty good vocal chops in here too. I wonder if those are samples or AI is creating those as well, just generating them out of the air. Yeah, I'm interested. I just want those vocal chops. Latin, you have Latin pop, Latin. I've looked at these. The reggaeton is actually pretty cool. You can get some really cool snares and other samples out of it. I guess it was dark reggaeton I checked out. I haven't really looked at reggaeton. But we'll move on from genres now. Move on to collections. Now, these are, like if you go into blogs, you're going to get a bunch of really 30-second songs that are made just for vlog type of stuff. I think so. Let's see if it generates just a 30-second clip or not. I think that I could be wrong. Or actually, I think it's another section where you get the 30-second clips. But these are this kind of cheesy background music for all these like YouTube, you know. Actually, this was not sound like this. Oh yeah, here we go. You see, you just imagine you have the montage, or B-roll, and they're just showing a bunch of different shots while they're walking to the beach in slow motion, Nothing I would use, but if that's what you do for work, it's extremely helpful, I imagine. But another hack to this site and the way it works is, so go over here to moods and themes. There's another way to get there. I can't remember how, but so as I was mentioning, the genres have a very narrow BPM spread. But if you come here into moods and themes, not only do you have a wider spread typically, but depending on what BPM and what key you choose, it will affect the genre that you get. So I'm going to come in here to uplifting workout. This is made for workout people, I guess. Let's go to E minor. And you see here, it can go as high as 145 and as low as 85. That's, it says 7-inch spread, or 7-inch BPM spread, something like that. Or 60, I think. Here we go. 60 BPM, that's right. So we'll try something faster pace, and then we'll go switch to something lower pace. So I'll give you an example of the variations. It has that bass pluck a lot, and it sucks. You definitely. I'm gonna do a 85 BPM now, but you always change the bass if you're working with one of these projects. Never keep the original bass. It's always need to be changed, from my experience. I was surprised it didn't do trap or something. Maybe with the uplifting workout, it tries to keep it, in like a 4-on-4 kind of vibe. Let's try one more of these moods and themes. Now this one goes up to 160 down to 90. That is some slow-ass trap. I think high beats is always trap, no matter what genre you do. I'm not sure of that, though. There's actually some things I like about that generation, but not enough to save it. Okay, so that was basically moods and themes. I think that's it. All this is. It's kind of confusing because it's not easy to get to moods and themes. I think if you go, let's go to create moods and themes. If you get rid of this, you come down all the way to the end, which scrolling doesn't work for some reason. We're doing now. Select one of these at the end is a way to get to, not moods and themes, sorry. It's those little the 30-second clips I was talking about. I can't remember how to get there. But let's jump into loops. Drum loops, obviously, this could be really helpful if you're having trouble coming up with a hi-hat rhythm. I'm sure it gives you MIDI. I haven't used it yet. Let's show you some drill tops. As you can see, you just got your snare, hi-hat, offbeat ghost snares, and other little perks. Pretty cool, actually. I like some of these samples in here. I'm grabbing this. All right. And then obviously, as I was mentioning earlier, you can use ambience to help back up your track, create some atmosphere in the background. That was in the genres tab, but you can also just create some background ambience here. Oh, it's vocal chops is in effects as well. Okay, let's take a look. Show you what you can get. This is actually really helpful because I know a lot of people spend a lot of time on Splice looking for some unique vocal samples. Problem is, I may have mentioned this earlier in the video. Other people are going to have those samples as well. Doing it this way, you don't have to worry about anyone else having those samples. I don't think, like I said, I'm not sure if there are vocal samples that the AI is using and maybe just chopping up, or if it's generating them like out of the blue. Well, that's something you could use with like that. Most of them are more melodic and would fit better into like feature bass or something like that. That one is more of like a techno one, which I haven't ever. I don't spend much time in these loop generations, but I haven't heard that one before. An instrument loop. Guitar is coming soon, by the way. It's not here yet, but I'll show you what they sound like. Allegedly, you can make guitar loops like this. But I want to generate some of these. I haven't heard these yet. Let's hear what this sounds like. Latin chord plex. So that's kind of a guitar. It sounds like a guitar to me. That's cool. So it's guitar chord plex. In global tracks, this is where I think people, if you generate a song on Soundful, you can share it on here without any editing to it. Obviously, the way I do it and the way I suggest doing it is you want to bring the project into your DAW and make a lot of changes to it usually. Even if you're only making a few minor changes, you're gonna be changing some instruments out, you're gonna be remixing it and then doing another master. But there's a community, I think, of people who share music on here. It's honestly kind of dorky. I wouldn't ever be caught doing that. And the collab section, these are different artists that are working with Soundful to help create models that are based on their sound. The only one I've ever actually heard here, I think I've heard I've heard White Shadow. I've heard him, I don't listen to him, but I have listened to Cascade. Let's give you an example of what these generations sound like here. These guys, it's a pretty good model. I like the small one. With these ones, even if you have a membership like I do, you have to buy these separately. I think they're like $15 a piece. Yeah, 15. Some might be more. It doesn't give you the option to buy, but here, this is what Cascade's models sound like. Oh, look at listen to that clap. I would jack that clap so fast. Gimme. All right, let's move on to library. Now, everything that you save ends up in your library. If you're going to render it, I suggest doing it from here. You want to make sure that it's in the correct. Yeah, I at least when I save them, I just have a bunch that are saved. And when you press get, you have the option to download the MP3 in the wave, which I never do. I always just go to the stem. And that can take between like 10 and 30 minutes to render out the stems and the MIDI for you. which to me is a good thing. It shows there's some work involved in the AI's end, you know. But if you once you've gotten it and you've gotten to where you can download the stems directly, you can no longer make edits to it. I guess that's something I should have started with. From the library, you can make edits to the tracks. You can change the BPM, and you can change the key within the limitations here, which is crazy awesome. I didn't expect that when I first started using Soundful. But as I said, have gotten it, converted it. You can no longer edit it. And that actually screwed me over a little bit on one particular day. But yeah, so spend time on here, save up a bunch of them. Then when you got a project, you got a vocal track you need something for, or maybe you're a DJ and you have a set and you need a song in a certain BPM and a certain key to transition, just throw one of these up. Just render one of these out, get one of your buddies who knows how to, sound engineer to do a better master on it. Drop it in your set, and you're good to go. It's totally original too. I mean, it's original in the sense that no one else has access to the same song, but it's not really original. Because AI made it, you didn't make it. So in that way, it's not original. So it depends on how you want to look at it. Now, as far as the memberships, I have the highest plan. I have the Music Creator Plus. As you can see, I paid for it for a year, and when I bought it, it was like this price. And it goes on sale, 50% sale all the time. So I would kind of, if you're going to do the annual, wait for Black Friday or another time of the year. It seems to have it all the time. I'm honestly surprised it's not at a 50% right now. But the free one, you get one stem pack per month. So you can, if you want to put out one track a month, that's all you need, really. You don't have access to all the genres, though. That would be a problem for you. But with the content creator, it only gives you the year option. Here it looks like, but here it gives you the monthly option. That's new, I think. But with this one, you get 100 downloads per month. And like I said, I hope I really want to discourage people from rendering a song and just using that as a song and claiming that it's yours. If it's yours, you got to put, in my opinion, you do need to put some work in it. And you also aren't going to be very satisfied or proud of the track that you complete from here without putting some work into it, in my opinion. And you don't have to be a super advanced music producer to make some improvements to it. You just have to have good ideas. You have to have good taste. And that's something that, frankly, DJs already have. That's why this is a great way for DJs to get into music production. And that's something I actually focus on with Synth Alchemy. But I think that covers everything. I do want to show you a project that I created with Soundful. Let's move over there. Here I have opened a project that I've already completed that originated in Suno. Then I extracted the vocals out of the Suno, and I actually was a female vocal track, and I changed the female vocals to a male vocal track, and then I brought it into FL Studio, figured out the key, went to Soundful, generated a track in that key, and I actually generated the track at a much higher BPM. So this is started with this, and remember, when I'm generating through Suno, I don't care about the music. The music's going to go away. I want to get a vocal track that I can work with. And unfortunately, male vocals do not translate well using the MusicPy method highlighted in my review of MusicPy.
Driving down these streets of hot cone. Neon lights, they got my way home.
So if you want to have a male vocal, the best way to do it is to create female vocals and then change it to a male vocal. When you do that, it actually can create some problems if you try to do any pitch shifting after that. I found, I don't know what it does, but it does something. You have some limitations with the male vocal track after that. Formant shifting makes it sound weird. I'm not going to get into that right now. But first, so we got the Suno track. Now I'll show you what Soundful made for me. Okay, so you've heard the Suno generation. You've heard the generation now that Soundful created. Uh, but I bet you're going to be surprised with how the um, how it sounds in the edit. In my opinion, it sounds nothing like either of those. So you're take a listen. And I have to apologize if we do experience any overruns. I'm recording video right now, and I think it's going to impact the performance of the processor. Actually, it um, looks like I may have not. I don't know why this is shooting to the rip. It must be because of OBS, but let's go ahead and go.
Tonight, windows down, wind blowing through my head, feeling way just like I'm floating in the air, driving down these streets of a cone, neon lights they got my way home, city beats they pulse through my veins, lost in the rhythm, no I can't complain, drifting in my style like these MCs have this alright, I keep on the dice, keep my eyes so low, feel the rush, don't give a fuck, I ain't switching, open up the engine, this is my world, this is just the beginning. Late at night, when the stars are shining bright, I take a drive with no destination sight. Windows down, wind blowing through my head, feeling way just like I'm floating in the air. Driving down these streets of a cone, neon lights they got my way home. Then in my style like these entries at the so bright, I leave all my worries behind dropping. Then in my style like these entries at the so bright, I leave all my worries behind dropping. Then in my style like these entries at the so bright, I leave all my worries behind dropping. Then in my style like these entries at the so bright, I leave all my worries behind dropping. Since the night, didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping to the night. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping to the night. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping. Didn't ever sound like these MCs at this alright. I leave all my worries behind dropping.
So as you can see, coming from these generations to this, there's a lot that has to be done. If you've done remixes, then it's similar to remixing, only you have the rights to it. It's totally original. You have the rights to the vocals. And just to show you, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I want to show you just an example of some of the things I changed. The original bass in it was terrible. I changed it to this here. And then here's a cowbell. Again, the original sample was terrible. I think the website is called loopsy.com, and they have this Fonthell 1 and Fonthell 2 sample packs. They're not even sample packs, they're preset packs. They do have some samples in them. I don't use the samples. But I don't really use any of the presets either, except for the cowbell samples. Just because, honestly, it would take a long time to learn how to make really good cowbell. They're not samples, they're presets, but it would take a long time to learn how to make cowbell presets that are as good as the ones in this pack, and it's really just not worth it to me. Here's the the intro there. And as you see, you got a lot of automations and mutes, turning different effects on and off. These are for the risers. And then I got a shitload of gates. I have like, quarter note gate, half note gate on, every single, not every channel, every major bus on these buses, on this bus. I think that's it. But as you can see, when I do my projects, I have kind of a complicated routing system. I actually have a template for this that I give to my students. I should just list it for free, and I'll do that soon too. But the kick and the snare are gonna, well, actually the kick and snare over here. Here's the snare, one of the snares, and then the kick is, where's it? Oh, here it is. Here's the kick. So these route to these buses here, where they then get routed directly to the drum bus, but they also get routed to this bus over here, which does not output any audio. It only sidechains to the instrument effects. And the instrument effects has the bass bus and the mid-high bus. And the mid-high bus just has all the melodic and content. There's ambience as well. Ambience, mid-high, they all go into the instrument effects. The vocal or lead gets it separate. So if you have a lead that you want to be dominant over the mix rather than the vocal, you put that in this one as well. But I have these anti-masking plugins called Fast Reveal, which this one carves out the kick and the snare. This one carves out. This is a spectrum specific frequency ducking. There's lots of different terms for it, just to create more room, less muddiness, more clarity, and also to, in the case of the kick and the bass, to reduce in the possibility of what's the word? Phase cancellation. But yeah, so I guess until I list this somewhere, let me know if you want access to this template here, and I'll go ahead and just drop it into my Google Drive and give you a link. But thank you very much for watching this video. I think I've covered everything. I think that's a very in-depth coverage of Soundful, how to use it to its fullest potential, or at least much fuller to the potential that a lot of people are using it right now.